Hey everyone, welcome to Fekoko Justine. Thank you for joining me. On this episode, I'll be focusing on period poverty. And as you can see, I am inside my ovaries. Yes, periods. I know I said periods. Some of you were like, period? It's not my fault. Period and period have the same pronunciation. Some of you had correctly and immediately scrolled to the next video. And to that I say, shame on you. What is period poverty? Period poverty is the lack of access to sanitary products, menstrual hygiene education, toilets, hand washing facilities, and or waste management. The focus in this episode will be mostly to the access of sanitary products. In 2016, Menstrual Hygiene Day, an advocacy platform used to promote good menstrual hygiene for women and girls, found that 65% of Kenyan women and girls were unable to access sanitary towels. Yeah, 65%. If anyone told you 65% of your followers were unable to view your Instagram stories, you will be very worried that no one is seeing you live your best life. And you would probably dedicate your life briefly to trolling Zuckerberg. In place of sanitary pads or tampons, some women and girls resort to using homemade alternatives such as cloth, grass, or feathers. This is why period poverty is such a big issue. In order to talk about period poverty, I have to talk about tampon tax. These two are the sisters of the traveling stained pants when it comes to period education. So, what is tampon tax? Tampon tax is a popular term used to call to attention to tampons or other feminine hygiene products being subject to value-added tax or sales tax, unlike tax exemption status granted to other products considered basic necessities. I got this information straight from Wikipedia because everything else is behind a paywall. People sometimes argue that feminine hygiene products are non-essential goods, so they are taxed. While there's no hygiene product equivalent for men, it's great to know that women are earning less so that they can spend it all on sanitary pads or tampons. Kenya doesn't hold the exclusivity button on tampon tax. All over the world, even countries like the US or the UK that brag about their first world status, categorize tampons and sanitary towels as luxury items, therefore are subject to tax. That's literally the same category as a private jet. I'm assuming. Imagine your period being labeled a luxury body activity like you're not in the office washroom trying to survive an anal cramp. For the longest time, Kenya too taxed feminine hygiene products. But in 2004, Kenya repealed VAT on pads and tampons. Amazing, right? 2004. What a time to start your period. I know some of you are feeling nostalgic. In addition to lowering the tax, the Kenyan government has been setting aside funds to distribute free sanitary towels to teenage girls in school since 2011. Funds in the national budget have been set aside for providing feminine hygiene products to underprivileged girls, with $5 million budgeted in 2017 to 2018. Yeah, the Kenyan government did a good thing. I was as surprised as you. That's like finding out your deadbeat father owns an orphanage and has helped many families get a beautiful new addition. What about you? However, the program has seen implementation challenges with supplies often running out or being stolen. There it is, almost fell for a minute there like I didn't know my own country. What will Kenya be without corruption? Be without BB, without the I, as they say. As mentioned earlier, almost 2/3 of Kenyan women cannot afford sanitary towels, and this puts them in a lot of danger. Women and girls who use cloth or any other means to get through their period are often vulnerable to infections, which is an added medical cost. And we all know how healthcare is free and all. Desperate need for sanitary products has also forced some women and girls to have sex in exchange for them. A recent report said that 2/3 of Kenyan women who use pads in Kenya get them through their sexual partners. Teenage girls experience statutory rape while trying to access sanitary pads. Some teenage pregnancies are directly linked to period poverty. Predatory men prey on teenage girls from poor homes or conservative households by offering to buy them pads if they sleep with them. Additionally, according to UNESCO, 1 in 10 girls in sub-Saharan Africa misses school because of their period. Data from the Kenyan Ministry of Education indicates that a girl absent from school for 4 days in every 28 days loses 13 learning days. I missed a day of my Spotify subscription and they cut me off immediately. In an academic year of 9 months total, a girl loses 39 learning days, equivalent to 6 weeks of learning time. While Magoha was busy questioning why girls are doing better than boys in KCPE, he and his baldness were busy forgetting the dangers that girls have to go through daily just to get by. While the government often steps in to help with period poverty by offering girls sanitary pads, this is usually in case of an emergency. Now, if I remember my high school life correctly, interacting with a teacher on any given day is a minefield. Some teachers will shame you if your sneeze irritates them. Imagine having to approach some of them with your irregular period emergency. you know it's definitely going to end like Africans waiting to be added to the world tour of their favorite artist. I remember when I was in high school and my brother would take me shopping before shipping me off to school. It was kind of weird telling him that I had irregular periods and that the number of sanitary pads he bought me would last anywhere between 2 months to a full year depending on how my ovaries felt. Thankfully, I had my brother to awkwardly converse with about pads. Not so many girls are that lucky. Another danger of period poverty is the quality of sanitary products one can afford to buy. Some of the affordable sanitary products in the Kenyan market are poorly manufactured. A little while back, the hashtag #MyAlwaysExperience was started by Shefa Oro on Twitter, and it pointed out how sanitary products in the local market varied greatly from those sold abroad. As someone who's never traveled outside this country, I would never have known that. I just assumed that after day 3 of your period, your pad was supposed to light a fire between your butt cheeks. Many women went on to share their experience, which were much similar to mine. However, Always Pads manufacturers were quick to double down on the quality of their pads. They notably said, "We are great at gaslighting. What are you gonna do?" Women ended up paying more for other sanitary products at one point when tampons were not available in the market. For a country that's half women and girls, this should have been something on the news, but what is news if not prime advertising for politicians persevering? Women and girls living in remote places in the country have to contend with highly priced sanitary products because of logistics. Remember the pending danger of women and girls to sexual assault just to afford this essential commodity? Women and girls cannot opt out of having periods. We're stuck with them like the third word in the last line of the first verse in the national anthem. Period poverty disproportionately affects women in prison and unhoused women and girls too. With the high cost of living, sanitary pad dispensers in public washrooms could go a long way in helping women and girls who lack access. A lot of people are working to help eradicate period poverty through their advocacy groups or their own self-funded initiatives. Your favorite Kenyan rapper, former news anchor, TikTok star, or high school classmate probably has one too, and we applaud all of them. Men can literally buy a 3-in-1 hair product that is shampoo, conditioner, and has a Netflix subscription at an affordable price. I think we can ensure that women and girls get a well-priced line of sanitary products. Thank you for joining me this week. Stay tuned for more episodes and stay woke.